All right. All right. Thank you. Hey guys. So I got transferred from the round room to the main one, so that's great. To introduce myself, I'm Stepan. I'm engineer in Apify. Together with me, here is also Misha, product manager from the integrations team. So after you learn about Apify, you might want to integrate with us. Approach her. And for okay, I will pull up the mic. It's too. Oh yeah, better. So I will be talking about enabling agents to pay and about some implementation challenges we faced when we were implementing the X402 protocol in our production. So let's get started. AI agents. For purpose of this presentation, let's define the term. I will be talking about AI agents as some goal-oriented systems powered by some LLM that when working towards some goal, taking independent decisions, fulfilling the task you give it. Example usage of AI agents would be, for example, to organize a birthday party for your friend. So it should happen in a week. We want it to be an Italian restaurant, and then we want to go to a rock concert. And my friend is a runner, so I want to get him a pair of comfy running shoes as a gift. So I fill it up in some client. For example, this is Claude desktop. And when I hit enter, I expect that few sub agents would start to complete the task that I gave them. So some restaurant agent probably browsing through Google Maps and finding the place. Concert agent finding the right concert. It should be close to the restaurant so we don't have to go through the whole city. So they should communicate. Shopping agent to find the shoes and probably order them. And then, for example, communication agent to actually notify the friend group about the event that is about to happen. So, how do agents act in the real world? As I said, the agents would need to work with Google Maps, or ordering tickets, or ordering shoes, buying tickets, etc., etc. These are things that are already here, and the agents need to get access to them and work with them. So, how do they do it? They use tools. Tools are the interfaces to the world of internet as we have today. So, how agents use those tools? Probably through some protocols or skills. Like model context protocol is the one famous one where you have some MCP servers distributing tools, and your agent, would connect to those MCP servers and gain access to those tools. As I already mentioned, skills are the new topic, like new emerging standard to provide agent with some tool. It's more of like guidance way. So there's not necessarily an access to something, but there is some intersection. So using these two, agents are gaining capabilities basically. Good proof of it is that some agent just negotiated 4,000 car discount. It was some open claw. So yeah, this is proof that agents are capable and they know how to use these tools. But guess where this whole thing ended? It couldn't buy the car. Really, the intent was to buy a car for his owner, but it wasn't able to pay. So the question is how agents pay. Would you give them your credit card to like, here you go, here's my credit card number, all the access codes, and go have fun? Yeah, so no control. Or maybe it won't work because these forms are pretty complex. They are different on every site, and you probably need to confirm the transaction, so you are still in the loop. It simply won't work. Or if we're talking about some services, your agent might want to buy some, for example, Apify or any other service to accomplish their task. So you probably need to subscribe to those services, then get the API keys and prepare the flow with all the accesses to those tools through MCP servers. Hell of API keys, all flows, authorizations, accounts. That won't work. That's why we have agentic payment protocols and providers. They should be the standard way that agents get identity and payment capabilities. So Your agent has, for example, your wallet, your credit card, or like crypto wallet, and using some protocol or provider, they communicate through it to the other services, to the target services that they want to use. There is many of them. There are many of them. There is L402, A2P, UCP, Universal Commerce Protocol by Google, ACP, Agentic Commerce Protocol, also by Google. There is Visa Intelligent Commerce emerging, and I think it is slowly becoming a thing. Then there is Machine Payment Protocol by Stripe. So as you probably know, Stripe, they are the big ones in terms of payments. So I would keep an eye out on that. There is KYA Pay by Skyfire. These were actually first protocol that we like that was fully working out there. They are not only protocol, it's like provider. And actually it was first protocol that Apify supported. So we are already on agentic payments. But the main one that I'm here to talk about is X402, which is protocol, it's not provider, it's just a protocol. Namely, precisely X402 version 2, because the version 1 was not that like implementable, if I can say it like this, because it was invasive and it required you to change your response bodies on your API, which is not something you want. So version 2 is open source protocol by Coinbase. It's not invasive since it uses only like request and response headers. So it's not like touching your payloads. They have defined headers from the spec, and that's only thing that you should worry about. So you'll be just adding to what you already have. It uses the 402 status code, which was back then reserved for exactly this use case, payments on the internet. And as I said, it's a protocol. It's built on blockchain, so it is centralized, and currently it already supports multiple networks. So to give you a quick TLDR on what the flow is, basically client, the agent requests the server, for example, Apify, that you want to use some resource from the server. The server responds, hey, I want a payment, and gives the client details like how the payment should look like. The client then should sign it, prepare a payment payload because the client has the access to your wallet. So it will create a signature basically that will be sent back to the server, to Apify, for example. And Apify would settle it on the blockchain, get the money. It would settle through the middleman, the facilitator, which is basically way to access the blockchain without implementing your like running your own node, but not I wouldn't go to like technical details here. And yeah, as soon as it's settled on the blockchain, the other side has the money. We can proceed with actually doing the job and then returning the results. Done. You can find the whole spec here on GitHub if you want to take a picture quickly, but you will probably be able to find it very easily. Just export to GitHub and you got it. So let's talk about implementing the X402 to existing systems. First roadblock, and I think maybe only roadblock actually that would came across is the payment scheme. X402 offers, as of today, two, but for a long time there was only one payment scheme, which is exact scheme. So exact scheme expects that the server would define fixed price for the resource that it is offering, and the client is expected to pay the exact static price for the resource. So it would work perfectly fine for fixed cost API calls, or as I said, static resources and all those things, buying items. That's fine. It won't work well for is, for example, token generation. You don't know how big the message would actually be, or creating a database. You don't know like how many results it's gonna find and what will be the like consumption of the compute power, for example. Or web scraping, which is case of Apify. So to give you TLDR, what Apify does, we are cloud platform that operates over 24,000 tools, DB collectors. These tools are web data extraction tools, scrapers, or other automation tools. So basically, they are small cloud applications in Docker that have some input and output. So, for example, if I give you an example with the Instagram scraper, you ask it to get top 5 posts of some account, for example, or maybe 50, and it will start up, and the crawler would go to Instagram and try to get your 50 posts. But what if there are no 50? What if there is less than 50 posts? What if there's only 12? You don't want to be charged for all 50. You just got only 14, for example. So yeah, for us, exact scheme won't work. It won't work for basically any of those pay-as-you-go schemes. So you have 3 options. If you have pay-as-you-go scheme in your service and you want to be on X402, you can either wait for up to scheme, which actually got released like a week ago. Like it wasn't released, but their support started to grow 4 days or a week ago. Yeah, we didn't want to wait for it. Another thing that you can do is adapt your pricing model. You probably would need to change your application a lot. It would be a lot of implementation, more work than you actually want, and changes to your product as well. Not applicable. So you can hack it. And that's what we did. Hack it is pretty ambiguous term, but in our case and in this case was like finding a way around the protocol without doing like all the implementation changes to do it the 100% correct way. So I present you exact scheme with refunds. It basically works exact same as the normal scheme as I presented. You just estimate the price you estimate the exact price. It's like upper bound. Then your client pays you the exact price, the whole amount, and you basically do the bookkeeping or how much they actually spend. So in your database, you track the usage. So it's something that you probably already do if you have pay-as-you-go scheme. And after the job is done, you basically return the rest back to the sender through blockchain. You can do it because when the client initially sends the payment, in the payment payload, there is this field. There is the sender address, basically, on the network. And you can craft the crypto transfer contract that would send the money back. And then you can consider yourself like crypto bro, Web3 developer, and all of this. So yeah, that's how Apify got X402. And it's available on API and MCP as well, because they are like closely bound. And here is the documentation to set it up. It's pretty easy. To give you more detail on how to get X402 running on your MCP or using X402 with some other MCP server. For example, in our case, it was pretty easy. We just added this argument payment equals X402. So when you connect using this URL, our MCP won't request the OAuth flow. You won't be prompted to sign in a browser, and it will just let you connect. And every paid tool call on our MCP server would ask for the X402 payment. So how do you connect your wallet to the agent, basically? It's pretty easy. You can you can just give it a private key to your wallet and be like, yeah, here's my wallet. It's like giving your agent a credit card, essentially. It's the same thing. And it would probably cover the signature, but this is not something that you want to do. You don't want to give your private key to your whole crypto wallet to some external provider or so. So please don't do this. It would work, but don't do this. Yeah, this is the problem. You don't want to do this. So say hello to MCPC. It's our tool that we crafted for, it's like MCP client for shell, for CLI, like in CLI. And one of its capabilities is X402 payments. So you basically initialize, or you can even import your wallet using this. And when you use this, the wallet will be saved in your OS keychain, so it won't leave. It won't get to any of the LM contexts. It would just do the signing work for you internally, safe and secure. Yeah, this is how it looks like. You just do MCPC X402 import, and your private key gets stored locally safely. And then you would just do the same prompt, basically. For example, scrape me 3 latest Instagram posts from National Geographic using Instagram scraper from Apify, and pay with X402 using MCPC CLI. And then I want to show the results as a table. So I will show you how it looks like. So here I have empty folder. As you can see, LSLA, nothing there. In MCPC, I have no MCP connections. It's just bare utility. I have my wallet. This is my address. And as you can see, there's 10 USDC USD coins on that. So I launch Claude. I give it the exact same prompt as I showed you in the previous slide. And I let it cook. I don't know why it stopped, but yeah, scrape, blah, blah, blah. I already said the prompt. Yeah, I give it the documentation so it knows and can recover easily. I didn't enable the always allow mode, so I'm accepting things that it's trying to do. So yeah, I let it fetch the docs. Yeah. Now it has a full picture. I want to use MCPC, check it whether it's installed. Yeah, it is. MCPC export info to give information about the wallet. Yeah, there is a wallet, there is 10 USDC, it's plenty. Since we ask just way less than 10 USDC, it's not necessary to give all the credits. And yeah, it was pretty quick. Actually, what I did, MCPC connected to the Apify MCP server, as it is stated in the docs, and it basically already has the access to the wallet. So it signed the payment and sent the payment payload through the tool call. And on the right side, this Apify console where the Instagram scraper just executed, and now it is doing the job. I asked for 3 posts, so here there should be only 3 results in the end. Yeah, 3, and it is now printing the table paid via X402 on base. That's basically it. So only user human input is setting up the MCPC wallet, and then your agents would probably understand. This is just to prove you can check yourself what transactions are happening on your wallet or with your. Basically, you can see the blockchain yourself on basescan.org. So I just search for the address of my wallet, and as you can see, there is the transaction that the agent did. And the refunds in Apify work the way that after the actor finishes and there is no another run in an hour, then we proceed with sending the money back. This is the original transaction. It took an hour, so I came back to this later, but the IDs or transaction hash would fit. If you see the presentation, you can check it yourself back. And in an hour, we did the opposite direction transaction with the amount. So it cost less than 1/10 of a cent or something. So this is the transaction returning the money. And you may ask yourself, okay, why do we need MCP in this? We don't. Agents are perfectly fine with REST APIs. So you can ask it to use API directly and just use the MCPC to sign the payment. This was the prompt. I have the demo as well, but it's pretty much the same thing. So I just extracted a few screenshots. So yeah, same task, but use API directly. This is the command that it used to call it. Basically, this is the signed payment from MCPC, and this is normal CURL call with the payment signature appended in the header. And this is our Apify API to start the actor, and those are the similar results. That will be it. Thanks for your attention. Here, Apify docs for X402 and MCPC, the CLI we used. Thank you.